Let me start off by saying that this is a pre-recorded session, but I will be in the comments at 8 p.m. so that I can answer any questions and speak with you guys. So please tune in, even though it's pre-recorded. Thais is so busy. She's a mental health counselor and she has clients today. So she graciously agreed to do a pre-recording of our interview so that I could have her on my show tonight. So let me introduce my illustrious guest. Thais is an author. She's a spoken word artist. She's a mental health counselor. But what I find most endearing is she's the founder of a new nonprofit organization called the Emerald Village, which is a mentorship program for young ladies. So, good evening, Thais. How are you, my love?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You are so beautiful,
Oh,
inside and out. I just have to say that.
well, thank thank you. Oh my goodness, so are you. We've been inspiring each other, and thank you for for having me on. Thank
Oh,
you so
it's my pleasure as always. As
much.
always, Thais and I have history. Let's just say that. So, it's gonna be an impersonal, a very personal interview. We went to the. I'm not giving y'all the finger, but we went to the illustrious Baltimore City College together. So we have over 30 years of friendship and love on the line here. So, Thais. I'm going to get right into the interview because I know your time is valuable and you have clients today. But
GED, GED
I,
class.
I feel
Teaching.
honored that you made time for me.
Oh my goodness, yeah, yeah. Teaching
So,
GED class
um,
after this. Yeah, quite a
so,
bit.
guys, if you all didn't know, Thais is the one that got me into podcasting. Thais had a podcast, and I'm sure she's going to be starting it back up, but she's been busy with the Emerald Village. But she had me on her show. She saw something in little old me and had me on her show. And look at me now. This was back in, what was that, September of last year? And here we are,
Oh,
almost September again.
right.
And
I didn't realize it had been that
it
long.
has been that long. I launched my podcast December the 7th. So look at me now. Every Wednesday since December the 7th, I think I've only missed one.
You go, girl.
And okay, so Thais is an author. Um, well, actually, let's start with this. She's a spoken word artist, and she's also an author. I'm going to combine the two because they sort of, correlate together. She has my eyes are watering, guys. You see me talk about that on my makeup lives all the time. But she has a book of poetry and she has two mental health books. But I want to talk about your spoken word artistry. How long have you been doing spoken word, and did it come about as a result of the book, or were you doing spoken word prior to the book and the book came about as a result of you liking to do spoken word?
Look, that was a mouthful, but
Yeah.
you got it all good. The okay, so I started spoken word first.
Okay.
And yes, I started spoken word first, and with the help of another illustrious city college graduate. I've mentioned him more than once, and he was on my podcast as well. Daryl Fun
Mm.
helped me because he's been a poet for, I don't know, maybe 30 years. It's been this
Okay.
crazy amount of years. And I have I don't have that many years in. I'm about four now,
Okay. Okay.
something like that. It's before the pandemic, and I went to a couple of open mics,
Mhm.
and but actually even I performed actually before I really started jumping around to different open mics by chance, because Daryl was having an event that he invited me to perform. And I I wrote, like I enjoy writing, so I was writing a lot more than I was actually performing, and I
Mhm.
still, and it's so that it's still like really in me to write actually more than perform. I mean, I enjoy it, and I really like more going and hearing other people
Okay,
because
okay.
you hear, I mean, just the creativity, that people have, and especially like in the Baltimore sector where we are, there's
Mhm.
a lot of very, very talented spoken word artists, so that's a passion of mine, and you can see it if you go to any one of the open mics. There's even virtual open mics as well, especially since COVID.
Mhm.
It really got started then, and it's amazing to see and hear, what the artist can do. It's definitely artistry, like you called it.
Oh,
But
exactly.
yeah,
Well,
but
I've
I
had the
started first there. Hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut. I've
You
had the pleasure of seeing Thais perform. She is very passionate, and the poem that two of the poems that I heard her do were a bit salacious yet intellectual. So it's not like that Jack and Jill just rhyming at the end type of poetry. It stimulates the mind as well as the body. And I was like intrigued. It's just not for, you could tell you were a collegian, put it that way.
Hey, Kitty forever.
So now, how do you feel when you're on stage performing? Because what I saw was like you came to life. Like there was a different
Mm.
energy about you. You kind of shy normally, but there's a different Thais that shows up on stage. Tell me about that.
Yeah, because I mean, when I go up, of course, I'm always nervous. I don't care who you are. I think it's inhumane inhuman not to be nervous.
Right.
So I'll be nervous, but at the same time, just elated to even be a part of certain venues and be able to perform, and then the seeing the audience reactions.
Mhm.
I mean, that's it. You When you look out and just see people and they're just like glared at you like like
Did she just say
right, like did she just say
that?
that?
Right.
You get all different kinds of expressions, of course, and reactions, and then but the women like it and the men like it, and it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. And and I like to write in different genres, so there's levels, to this.
Right. Okay.
But
So
it's
now
it's all fun and intriguing.
that leads me to my next comment or statement. Tell me about your books, both your poetry and your mental health books.
So the poetry book I wrote and at the end of 2019 and put out at the beginning of 2020, and then in 2020 I really got busy
Mhm.
um because it was just that time that it's like if you didn't realize at that time that a job is just not stable,
Right.
not secure, then I don't know what's wrong with you. So,
Right. Right.
so I really got busy in 2020, but I put the book out. Then the book of poetry has 20 poems, and they are geared toward Black women.
Okay.
Okay, so different. It talks about there's different topics. Well,
Mhm.
there's different topics, but it's called I Am Woman, and I've been able to be blessed enough to do some book signings
Mhm.
and also perform the uh, the the main poem is the same as the book title, which is I Am Woman.
Okay.
So I mean it was just an outpouring really of support and love with that, I can't thank, people enough. I had men that actually normally would buy more books than the women.
Oh, wow.
And that was because, I mean, I had men buying up to 5 books at a time because
Mm,
they would give them away, to
mhm. To
their
their
wives
friends,
or
sisters,
significant
wives.
other.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
friend, cousin, sister. Hmm.
exactly. Okay, and then you also have a passion. You're a mental health counselor, and how did how did you get into that field, and um what stimulates you about that? Because I know how passionate you are about it, but tell me what motivates you.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you may remember this. We took psychology, at least
Mm,
quite a few of us did. We did psychology and sociology in high school.
right,
And
right.
I still say, City is one of the best schools,
It is the best
in Maryland. I'm
in
telling
the
you.
country.
Yes, we really did. We took psychology and sociology. So I had an interest then in
Mhm.
psychology, just wanted just behavior,
Right.
why do people do the things that they do. And I ended up not really pursuing it though after high school, but then I
Mhm.
ended up coming around, doing other things, to make some money. Really, I was
Right.
raising a family, in my younger 20s, things like that. So I really got out of it, but then I ended up turning around and coming back full circle to what I really liked and enjoyed once I got myself settled. I call myself definitely a late bloomer as to what I really wanted to do and finding my passions and what fulfills me. You know?
Mhm.
So by the time I really realized what I wanted to do, I did get a an associate's degree in criminal justice, and then continued to a bachelor's in criminal justice. And I ended up out of school actually for 5 years. But I just knew that I was supposed to be doing something more.
Mhm.
I did not feel fulfilled anymore in my profession that I was doing. And so, I said, well, what is it that really drives me? So
Mhm.
I had to dig deep, pray a lot.
Right.
Ask the Lord to order my steps. Let me know what is it that I should be doing. Where should I go? I mean,
Mhm.
I know what my interests are now, but how do I build those into really building for the kingdom? I mean, I'm a God fearing woman, and
Right.
so it was very important for me to do what the Lord will want me to do.
Mhm.
So that's where I went with it, and that's how I came to do this, and wanting to help people in their really to when it comes to things like self-esteem and self-confidence, which is one reason why I have a passion for helping women, is
Mhm.
because that's really what I know. you
Right.
know I know the most, and I know there's young boys, young men out here that definitely need help, but I can't teach a man to be a man.
Exactly.
I'll get a little bit more into that a little bit later, but getting into the I've seen mental health issues in my family.
Mhm.
Okay. And, so it just became a passion of mine. And the more I studied, the more I learned, then just the more I wanted to do it.
Mhm.
And when you take psychology in school, you really don't get a whole lot of the counseling aspect of it.
Mhm.
You get a lot of the background, a lot of the foundation as to the old psychologists and
Right.
how all
Right.
of this came to be. Um, you might, I mean, you may get some juvenile psychologists and how some child psychology. You'll get how the brain works, and different things like that, which is all science to be studied.
Mhm.
But after that, I knew I wanted to, and I started as a life coach
Okay.
and a health coach.
Okay.
Okay, before being able to actually become a mental health counselor. You
And
know,
all of which gives you the foundation for where we're going with the Emerald Village. But I mean, that was your foundation.
yeah.
And one thing that I know for a fact, when you do what you love and when you have a God-given gift, and my guest last week, my barber, spoke on this as well.
Mm.
Like when you have a God-given gift, like you said, you ask God to order your steps and what comes naturally to you. um your natural passion for what you do when you're following your heart and that God-given gifts doesn't make what you do seem like work. No matter, and I know
Exactly.
you have a grueling schedule, but you are always so upbeat and motivated, and I love that about you.
Oh, thank you so much. The I'm used to hard work, and I figure if I'm going to work hard for somebody else, okay, for 17 to 24, $25 an hour, okay, I can
Mhm.
sure work hard for me.
Right,
And,
right.
and work smart. That's
Exactly.
working smarter.
Exactly.
Is what
Yes.
it is. I definitely still take my time, for self-care and
Mhm.
and different things that I enjoy, going out to dinner or whatever, brunch and
And she's my little dancing machine, y'all. She
oh
loves to
yes, I love
dance.
to dance. I love to go out and dance,
Yes.
and all that. So you have to take time for yourself. But
And then I
mm,
like the empowering of women because I know when I do someone's face, like you said, if they have low self-esteem or even if they're just having a bad day, and the metamorphosis of when they sit down in my chair to when they get up from my chair, it's like
mhm.
the shoulders have come up, the head
Yes,
up,
the
and
chin
I
is up, the
love
shoulders
being
are
the
back.
one responsible for that. So
Mhm.
you do it mentally, I do it physically.
Mhm.
Mhm,
Exactly, exactly. It goes so well together. It really
mhm,
does, and that's why a lot of people don't really think of the marriage, the true marriage
mhm.
between mind and body.
Right,
And I tell my clients, we can have challenges that are mental that begin to affect us physically,
physically,
and then
exactly.
we can have physical ailments
Mhm.
now we're anxious about and
Right,
can become depressed,
exactly.
because of the because of our physical our lack of capabilities,
Mhm.
physically. But it all goes together,
Right.
so when I work with my clients, I'm doing that holistically.
Mhm.
That's very important to me, and I let them know that from the very beginning.
Right. Right. I was about to say that I have noticed that you're into a lot of holistic medicine, just like Dr. Nikki, that was on the show as
Mhm.
well. Um Also, I lost my thought there. Wait a minute.
Well, I made sure I took her class,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm as well learning, I did that because I'm as well wanting to learn more about herbs,
Right, right.
because like for instance, one thing I implement with my clients in addition to working on their mental challenges is of course, like I said, it's a whole marriage between mind and body. So, I work on what's going to help them physically as well. I find out, for instance, if they're pre-diabetic, if they have
Mm-hmm.
high blood pressure, if they're having issues with the liver, with their kidneys, but
Oh,
all
that's
all of
good.
that. I mean, drink, and I'm not a doctor, but I can recommend things like, for instance, just drinking enough water and what that does for your
Exactly.
body, what exercise does for your body. I actually was a personal trainer and an aerobics instructor back in
Mhm.
my younger 20s.
Okay.
I did that for a couple of years, so it's the foundation was there,
Right.
but I didn't, like I said, I'm a late bloomer. I went all the way around Robin Hood's barn, but I'm glad I got back to it, because now this is what I really, really enjoy. And just like you said, it really doesn't feel like work.
Mhm.
It's, I mean, I get it. I get it in. I talk to people, I network, do podcasts,
Yes.
things of that nature to get it out. But I so want to make sure that mental health counselors, therapists, counselors, whatever, you want to call us, and whatever your level is that we're all making sure that the clients understand that it is mind and body.
Body.
It's not
So
it's not just one.
so now we you cover mind and body. What about spirituality? Do you do faith-based counseling? Is
Well, excellent question.
I try.
I'll tell you, if the client,
Mhm.
okay, and I mean, they will definitely reveal this from day one. I mean, from intake.
Mhm.
If they are, hey, I am faith. I am faith based. I am, God fearing. I am, this. I have this relationship with God, and this is what I feel, and so this is the type of help I want. See, I
Mhm.
mean, it has to be, their therapy plan has to be customized.
Right.
So that's when there is a shift into more Christian counseling.
Good. Okay. So
Mhm.
now, I know we have a limited amount of time, so I want to give you the rest of the time to talk about your new nonprofit, the Emerald Village, and I'm just gonna let you lead in and do your thing.
Okay, sure. And before I do that, you mentioned, like, there is other books besides the poetry book.
Mm,
So the I did a mental health, well, one, actually, the first mental health book I did it's a small ebook. I actually just give
mm,
that away free. Okay.
mhm.
And anyone can access that on my link tree, which is www.emeraldmindandbody.com.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, anyone can access that. It's quite free. And short read, but gives you
Very
something.
valuable. I've seen it. Very valuable
I do
information.
what I
Yeah.
can.
Mm,
And then there is the mental health workbook. So
mm,
just like it sounds, that's more of a guide where you can go page by page. You can take notes. I do send that out. So far, I do send that out on a virtual basis, ebook style.
mhm.
Okay, I give it away to my clients. It's a flip book style, so they actually
Right.
click and it'll turn the pages and all
Mhm.
that. And then I tell them, now purchase a journal, and it can be $3-4 journal, doesn't matter.
Right.
It's very therapeutic to write things down into journal. So I tell them to get a journal to accompany it. So the
Mhm.
mental health workbook has different, oh my goodness, it has in it the differences between an emotionally healthy person
Mhm.
and a person who is not in touch with their emotional health. So it does discuss emotional health. It discusses physical health. There's a full long list of coping skills,
Mhm.
and people can choose coping skills according to their interests and get involved in those. Self-care,
Mhm.
even tracking the amount of water that you drink. So there's trackers in the book. So I try to cover, extensively mind and body, but also in a manner that you can take notes.
Mhm.
It's a full journal.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
it's
again, I've
it's a
seen it.
guide.
You do the work. Very therapeutic. And what I like about it is it's a self evaluation. And if you can't be honest with yourself, there's a problem.
Yeah.
It gets you to think of things that you may not have considered before.
And that's the whole point, exactly, that
Hmm.
you may not have considered before, because we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And so what I'm doing is leading people, there as to how they can work on their mental challenges on their own. You
Mhm.
know, like I said, it's an accompaniment for my clients. I just give it to them free, and we work through it together, and they
Mhm.
do some work on their own. Um, but a lot of people have to understand it's just like, the Bible says faith without works is dead.
Good.
So you can pray on having better mental health, and but if you're not doing the activities, the exercises, if you're not doing the work, it's not really going to happen.
Right.
So you have to do more than pray. And then you have some that are not even praying, they just don't know which way to turn.
Mhm.
you know so it's it's the beginnings of, okay, this is seeing who you are. Okay, this is who I am.
Right.
This is how I ended up where I am. However, now I know how I can work it out. And I
Amen.
know how I can get to healing, because that's what it's all about, is being healed.
Right.
Doesn't mean we're going to be happy all the time, not at all. However, we will build resiliency.
Right. Okay. So now tell me about the Emerald Village, how it came to be, the age group of the young ladies that you'll be mentoring, how people can reach out to you, how they can reach out to you if they have someone in need of mentoring or if they want to be a mentor, and
Mhm.
your event.
Sure. So the Emerald Village, and just like it sounds, I believe it still takes a village to raise a child.
Mhm.
Also, the Emerald is, always have that somewhere in there. You heard me say my
Mhm.
website address is Emerald Mind and Body, right?
Right.
Simply because I was born in May. But so that's how I came up with the title, The Emerald Village. It wasn't hard. But it's just like you said, it's a mentoring program for girls and young ladies. I'm beginning at the ages of 12 to 18.
Mhm.
And I've already made an exception or two, because I'm not wanting to turn anybody down.
Right, right.
Someone comes to me and my child is 11, can they get started? And they'll be like, oh, yes.
Right, exactly.
So hook them up with a mentor. know? Yeah, so I don't want to turn anybody down, but that's where I decided that to get started, because that that age group right there, you know what I
Mm,
mean? And
yes,
and, and the parents need help.
exactly.
I mean, you know, um, I have parents, that I do mental health counseling for, and I find out people's demographic in their household. When I first
Mhm.
talk to them, of course, I can see who all is involved, and who all is affected by
Right.
this, by this counseling. But I have clients that come to me and say, I have this daughter or son,
Mhm.
12, 13, 14 years old, look off the hinges.
Right, right, exactly.
You know? So,
And sometimes they'll listen to everyone except the parent.
and there's reasons for that, and it would take me too long to go
Mm,
into that, but definitely,
okay.
there's exactly there's a reason for reasons for all of that. There's reasons for
Mhm.
all of our thoughts, all of our behaviors, all of our beliefs. There's reasons for it, and it starts with the family. It starts
Right.
with who raised you.
Mhm.
It definitely starts with the mother and father. It's always, so I mean, we are a product of our upbringing and our experiences. I always
Mhm.
say that.
Mhm.
So there is I have definitely seen that. I have
Okay.
definitely seen that. Kids will I mean, show absolute disrespect to their parents, and then everybody, every other adult around them, I mean teachers, coaches, or whoever,
Mhm.
every other adult around them is like, oh, she's such a joy.
Right, right.
The parent is like,
You talking
what?
about my kid?
Okay. Right,
Right.
exactly. But there's a reason.
Right.
What have they seen? What have they been through?
Mhm.
So you have I mean, you have parents that need help. The parents that
Mhm.
need help as well. And I'm with a outpatient mental health program, so I have no problems referring parents as well. You
Mhm.
but the nonprofit that I'm starting is girls, ages 12 to 18, and I actually already had a request to work with boys as well. So that'll come a little later down the pipe.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
now, what are some of the activities or like that you plan on doing with the young ladies? Or I'm sure a lot of it will be individualized, the need of the individual child, but on a general level, what are some of the things that you plan on doing with the young ladies?
Sure. So, of course, we want to make sure that we're promoting the self esteem, the proper self image, the self confidence, of course, character building, different
Mhm.
types of
Mhm.
social emotional learning,
Mhm.
skills, leadership, things like that. How not to follow the crowd, but conflict resolution.
Mhm.
So we're what we're doing is we're really kind of, they may even already work within a program, maybe it's school or have this school
Right.
counselor, things like that. Well, we're there to back all of that up.
Mhm.
So some of the activities, so the mentors will be seeing the mentees, one on one a couple
Mhm.
times a month, but then also there'll be activities that'll be more group activities, and those activities would be with companies that, for instance, that I've already networked with that offer different character building activities. So, for
Mhm.
instance, it could be horseback riding. Maybe they're going, and they'll learn how to actually take care of horses,
Mhm.
things like that. It could be martial arts, which we know has been proven to really build character, and help young people.
Mhm.
It could be dance.
Mhm.
It could be more creative efforts like poetry, things like that, but they'll be able
Right.
to participate in activities. And as they participate in these activities as well, we could even get together and do events where the kids are actually putting on a show and things like that, and people can come see. And those types of things can be fundraisers as well.
Okay.
So, I mean, just wanting to give them a well-rounded, program,
Exactly.
so that the ultimate is accomplishment is that they themselves are learning to heal. They're learning to self-soothe. They're learning how to be a pillar in their community and not kind of running around lost.
Exactly. Okay. So now, you have an event coming up on July the 30th. Um, Tell us about that.
The event is really a launch and a networking event. So it's, of course, introducing the Emerald Village. And within that, the reason why I call it not only a launch, but also a networking event is because what I've done is I've talked to different different people who are already really rocking and rolling their community and doing such positive things. And it could be in business, but they're coming in, they're speakers.
Mhm.
So I have several speakers that are coming out, and thank you to everybody that is coming to speak at the event. Like, I can't wait.
Yes, I'm excited about your event. I can't wait to come.
Yeah, so
As
it's
a matter of fact, Michelle is coming with me.
Yes. Okay. 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 I actually
And
thought about her the other day too.
oh
That's
yes, yes,
funny.
Michelle is coming with me. I was just talking to her about it last night, or was it night before last? Anyway, she'll be there. It
Okay,
happens to be on a
great.
Sunday and she's off. So is it open to the public, or if so, give that information out so that
Sure.
they'll know.
Sure. The event is again July 30th. It is a Sunday. It's from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. There are tickets to be purchased on Eventbrite, and they're just $20, and everyone is going to be fed. There is going to be food. There's going to be music, and then of course you'll get the speakers as well. So it's going, it's going to be fun, and you can bring pretty much any age with you.
Mhm.
Also, we're going to have sign up sheets for mentors and mentees as well.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Hmm.
So we're gonna go in and wrap it up because I know you have a client at 6:30.
Yeah, look,
And
GED
so
class.
and
That
oh, she also
too.
does GD classes, y'all. My girl is a renaissance lady.
Thank you. I love my GED classes too.
Oh my
But
goodness.
make sure that if you're interested in coming to the event, that you contact me either here, either on what I'm saying here, look, on Facebook. I know it's live a couple of places, but on Facebook under just my full name is my Facebook name. So it's Tyese, Tyese. Last name is Woodson. And there is an event that's posted for it. So the event is called the Launch and Networking Event for the Emerald Village. And then there will be a the Eventbrite link is there, of course, on the event. If there's trouble finding it, just inbox me and I'll send the Eventbrite link because I
And
would
I've
like everybody to
also
be there. Mhm.
shared the information on my page, my pages. So if you're looking at this on YouTube or Twitch, my page, personal is Wanda God's Brat with two T's, and my business page is God's Brat and her paint. So if you're looking at it on YouTube or Twitch, that's how you find us. Tyese Woodson, Tyese Woodson. And it's going to be a wonderful event. And better yet, I appreciate Thais so much because a lot of people can complain about the youth and what they're doing wrong, and but many people, they have so much negativity to say, but they don't offer a solution. They don't offer
Mhm.
a solution to the problem. Thais is putting her money where her mouth is, literally. Like, she is doing something about a perceived problem, or trying to prevent a problem. If we
Right.
catch them young enough and steer them in the right direction, because
Mhm.
we have to remember that a lot of the children that we're dealing with today were raised by children. This is during the era that it was a lot of teenage pregnancy. So we had
Yes.
children raising children. So
Right.
it's not that they're just bad people. Their parents may not have known, and therefore they don't know. So it's just
Mhm.
introducing them to something different.
Thank you so much for that. And it's all learned behavior.
Right.
See, I don't like the saying of, oh, she or he is just being a typical teenager.
No.
That
Mhm.
is there is no such thing as a typical teenager.
Right.
Okay. And I say that because again, it is all learned behavior. So,
Mhm.
parents have to take that accountability and responsibility to say, well, why is my teen running through the halls when they're supposed to be in class?
Mhm. Mhm.
Why is my teen, a girl chasing after boys and she's only 13, 14 years old?
Mhm.
You come on. We There is a foundation for it, and people have to start looking into themselves as to why their kids are the way they are. I gotta say it. I'm telling you, I've
Mm.
seen I have to say it, and
Responsibility and accountability on all
exactly,
levels.
exactly. And then from there, get help. you know,
Mhm.
and this is what we're here for.
Right.
Well, like I said, through an out the outpatient mental health that I work for, clinic that I work for, I can bring adults in for mental health counseling, and it may be me, it may be, it may I can refer out as well.
Mhm.
My schedule can't get but so full.
Right. Right.
And then but it's fine to come in as a parent and child. I mean, come in as a package deal.
Mhm.
We'll take both of you, because
Exactly.
that's what it has to be. That's what it has to be, because kids they're only emulating what they saw their parents do or whoever raised them. That's all
Mhm.
they're doing. They're emulating, or they are going based on what they did not learn, what they didn't learn.
Mhm.
What they didn't learn from family, they may have learned on the street.
Exactly.
So no, we have to do better, and unfortunately the saying that when you know better, you do better, that's not always true.
Right. Right.
Okay? Some of us, we know better,
Exactly.
and we're not doing better. Okay.
Exactly. So what do
And
we expect from the kids?
there you go. Hence, there's
Mhm.
no such thing as a typical teenager.
Yeah.
They're only doing what they have learned.
Okay. So in closing, of course, I didn't bring out my makeup palette. I have to give my little plug for my
Okay,
brand.
yes,
I
yeah.
am an affiliate for the brand Plan and Makeup by Yolando. You can go to the website planandmakeupbyyolando.com. Use my code Wanda. Today's look came from the Earthly Desires palette and the Barbie Teens palette. So Hey, a little
Yeah,
natural with a little shimmer. Yeah,
I
Green
love
dye.
it.
Yeah, that's what I did today. So you can always use my code at planandmakeupbyyolando.com. My name is Wanda, Wanda. And save you a few coins. Thais, I thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you and all that you do.
Thank you for
Um,
having me again.
you are so motivational and inspirational. And of course, I love you to life.
Oh, yes, I love you too. You know how we go.
Exactly. So with that, this is a pre-recorded interview, guys. So you can't ask Thais questions right now, because she'll be in an appointment at 8 p.m. But I will be with you during the recording time at 8 p.m. So I'll still be interacting with you. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peace and blessings. Remember, the enemy separates, we unify.
All right now. Love
I'll talk to you guys later.